Welcome, everybody, to Michigan International Speedway. My name is Josh Hall with Intensity Broadcasting, and we are here for the iOS Cup Series, the MF Racing Designs 180 here at Michigan International Speedway. Thanks to Michael Falk for coming on board to sponsor tonight's race. If you don't mind checking out his merch shop, that would be killer. I put the link in the description below. If you're not on YouTube and you don't see the description, it's savageedge.com/MF Racing Design Store. So check that out. That's Michael Falk Racing Designs. He does a bunch of cars here in the iOS series, so definitely worth checking out there. I know he's painted all the 2 pedals, 1 clutch cars. Let's take a look at Brian Nudie, who's currently at the top of the board. That's an MF design right there. So that's painted by Michael Falk. So kind of gives you an idea of the design work that this man can do. So check him out, please, as he is our sponsor tonight. Speaking of Brian Nudie, he leads the points right now as we got about 4.5 minutes left in practice here. He's your practice leader, not points leader, excuse me. But looking at the points, you see Cody Moore still your points leader with 248 points. He's 28 points ahead of Colin Willems. Now, Cody has 2 wins. Colin only has 1. Then you got Will Witt sitting back with 211 points in 3rd. Logan Hagerman, last year's Truck Series champion, and the other half of the Logan and Cody show, sitting back in 4th, and Brian Dees in 5th. Stephen Black has 2 wins as well. He's back in 6th, but with the 2 wins, he's only been running a part-time schedule. So that's why you don't see him sitting up a little bit higher. Looking at the team points, not to be favoritism here, but Intensity Broadcasting Racing Team, currently the points leader in the teams, 577 over Cyclone Racing. And second hand, Carolina Sim Racing and Team Maze. So Intensity Broadcasting Racing Team doing a great job here. Brian Nudie still at the top of the board. Kyle Mays sitting in 2nd. Daniel Michel in 3rd. Joseph Wright, last season's winner at this track, currently sitting in 4th. Michael White in 5th. Oh, we have a new fastest in practice. That is William Walter Witt the 5th. In that 35 machine, yes. Yes, that is his actual name, William Walter Witt the 5th. So he's making his way through traffic here. See Colin Willems in this mix as well. I'm sure the bot squad will be chiming in any minute now to root on Colin and Nick Mather. Actually, I don't even see Nick here. Oh, there he is. Nick is in the race tonight. Nick in that Smoky's Poutine car, which always makes me hungry every time I see it. A lot of traffic on track right now, as you can see these guys weaving in and out of traffic, trying to figure out, and this is Michigan. 2-mile track. Warm one too, 80 degrees on the air temperature, 126 degrees for the track temperature. So that's going to make this a warm one. The track's going to be awfully slick. These guys are going to be chasing the cars all around tonight, which is what we like to see. We like to watch these guys have some fun and slide around here in Michigan. So we ride aboard Nick here. See him right down on that apron. You can hear the car lifting off the track. It's really bumpy there through the apron, but lots of grip in the corner. Really not even lifting too much. See the car push up the track. He's going to get a huge toe here off the 95. I'm sorry, that's the 09 of Michael White. So we got about 30 seconds left in practice before we go out and qualify here. Again, last year, Joe Wright lucked himself into a win here at Michigan with a rain-shortened event. No, I'm kidding. He went the full distance. It was a bit of a fuel mileage strategy, but the strategy paid out. It got him to the front and got him the win last year. Sometimes it's having good strategies what you need to do to win these races here in the iOS series. We saw strategy come into play the last couple of races. We had a couple fuel mileage races and some late break cautions that hurt some people towards the end of the race. So we're going to have to see who can get the W tonight here at Michigan International Speedway. And who is the first one out on track? It looks like the 26 of Michelle out on track first. Also, we've got Stoney Benfield making his way out on track. The 95 of Michael Provolt. New paint job for him tonight. Cheeseburger Lawrence in that familiar cheeseburger car. And Colton Kinsey out on track as well in the 21 Snap-on machine. Sharp looking car right there. I'm a sucker for good paint jobs, especially here in qualifying. You can really get a good look at all the cars out on track. Chris Wheeler rocking that Valvoline scheme. Last year's Cup Series champion Cody Moore coming out on track now. Bailey Jones out on track. Nice patriotic tribute car there, the Hoonigan. Nice to see her back after a couple weeks off. And to the top of the board currently, Stoney Benfield. Still up at the top of the board, Stoney Benfield. Derek Chaput right behind him, though. Michael Lawrence, Michael Provolt. A lot of drivers, though, still haven't made their way out on the track yet. Some of the heavy hitters. Some of the guys who are practicing real high up the board. Guys like Brian Nudie, Will Witt. And Stoney Benfield is going to be your provisional pole winner right now. But we still have Colton Kinsey jumps up to the third spot. Isaiah Gill out on track, just rolling now. And Chris Wheeler jumps up to second, but not able to knock Benfield off his pedestal yet. Cody Moore up to third with a 39.41, so he's still almost a whole 10th off Stoney Benfield's time. As he comes off of turn number 2 and down the backstretch, you'll see this car bounce around just a little bit. Very bumpy track. Michelle up into the second spot now. Let's see if Cody Moore can knock Stoney off here. As he comes off at turn number 4, dives down to the apron and make the track as short as possible. And he's going to put himself in third. So Benfield still holding on to that pole position. Isaiah Gill coming down the backstretch. We'll see where he puts himself here. Oh, TJ Floyd out on track as well. Go back to Isaiah here as Isaiah comes through turns 3 and 4. He's going to put himself down on the apron. Comes across the line. Up to 8th. So Stoney Benfield holding on to that pole position. Zachary Cox moves up to second. Bobby Mays the third. See where Will Witt comes across the line. Here's the first lap, so he's going to stay high up against the wall to get that thing wound up the best he can. Brings it all the way down to that yellow line. And tonight you might even see people going below that yellow line through the corners. You'll see cars 3, 4, 5, 6 wide at times. Isaiah Gill up to the 3rd position, not able to knock Stony Benfield off just yet. Here comes Will to mark his first time here. He's going to go up to 3rd. It's the highest we've seen somebody on their first lap. So let's see as he's right down hooking that yellow line, trying to get that thing to turn the best he can. Comes down the backstretch. Let's see if he can improve on his time and knock Benfield off the pole. Brandon White up to 2nd now. So Will Witt comes off the corner, dives down to the apron, and across the line. Oh, through the grass a little bit. He is not going to improve his time, I think, because he hit the grass there. It took his time away. Because if you go off track here, they will take your time away. See Logan Hagerman out on track. Check out the Logan and Cody show if you haven't heard. Make sure to check that out on YouTube. The Logan and Cody show. Special guest this week, Grandma Hagerman made an appearance and had an awesome little interview. She tackles everything from watching the broadcasts and who her favorite driver is outside of Logan, who her favorite announcer is, who's obviously me, but she was modest and wouldn't say it. But Grandma Hagerman, I do appreciate it. I know I'm your favorite. But she would not give up her cookie recipe. That's a family secret. So, well, but yeah, check out the Logan and Cody show on YouTube. These guys do a great job putting that on. Brian Nudie up to the 4th position. Here comes Logan across the line. See where he moves himself into. He's going to be 9th, so Stony Benfield still holding on to that pole position. Stephen Black just coming out on track now. A little different look than we're used to seeing him in the black and orange look. That's Grandma Hagerman's 2nd favorite driver. Colin Willems comes across the line in 4th. So Benfield still holding on to that pole position. Here comes Stephen Black, rockets down the backstretch and into turns 3 and 4. Let's see if Stephen is able to put a good time down. This is his first time lap here. See him running a little bit higher line here to try to get that thing wound up. Down to the apron to shave off as much time as he can. Right now he's sitting back in 26th, the slowest car on track. So we'll see if that changes here on his 2nd flyer. And you can see not quite down on the apron like we saw Will Witt before. As Steven comes into turn number 3. Tries to get, yeah, just not down on that yellow line like we've seen some of the other drivers tonight. Locks it down across the apron. And Stephen Black is going to move up into the pole. Takes the pole away from Benfield with a 39.28 to Benfield's 39.33. Brian Dees up into the 4th spot. While that was going on, Brian Nudie went out in 7th. We got about, these guys have about a minute and a half left to qualify. There's a couple cars out on track right now. Michael White and Max McClure both out on track. Michael White currently in 26th. Brian Dees up in 4th. Max McClure coming across to start his timed lap now. See Brandon White getting a little loose there on entry. Not able to get down to the yellow line. See if he stays up on track. If he comes across the apron, he just, barely dives to the apron at the end. That's going to put him up into 12th. Brian Dees finishes his lap in 4th. Max McClure, the last car to qualify tonight. That Fort Worth screen printing car. Currently sitting back in 29th position. See if he's able to improve his time. Max taking a little different line down the backstretch, and well, it looks like time is up, so he's not going to get a second lap. So we'll take a look at our starting grid. Starting on pole tonight, the 98 of Stephen Black. Outside of him is going to be the 75 of Stony Benfield, having a great starting position tonight. Brandon White and Brian Dees will make up your second row. The 55 of Kyle Mays and Colin Willems in the 17 round out row number 3. Row 4 is going to see Brian Nudie and Zachary Cox in the 51. William Walter with the 5th be rolling off in the 9th spot with Isaiah Gill starting 10th. Nick Mather in the 16 machine rolling off 11th tonight with Michael White making up the outside of row number 6. Joseph Wright, last year's winner in the 82, he'll be starting on the inside of Brian Merle Jr. in the Gills dump truck service and pizzeria machine. Then Logan Hagerman, another one of the intensity drivers, coming in 15th with Bobby Mays in 16th. I just realized I did not hit the button. Thought I did. Cody Moore and Daniel Mitchell make up row number 9 with Eddie Morris, Grandpa Eddie, ex-Grandpa Eddie, in 19th, and Chris Wheeler in the 20th position. 21st is going to see Sylvan Segoin with Michael Provolt to his outside in the 95. Then Todd Mays and the 21 of Colton Kinsey round out row number 12. Row 13 is going to be TJ Floyd and Bailey Jones with Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence and Derek Chaput and Max McClure rounding out the field tonight here at Michigan International Speedway. Again, tonight's race is brought to you by MF Racing Designs. If you're looking for a sharp wrap, check them out. That's Michael Falk at MF Racing Designs. We'll take a look at Brian Nudie's car because that is one of the MF Racing Designs paint jobs on that one. Gives you an idea of the work that he does. So Stephen Black is going to lead him to the start here with Stony Benfield to his outside. Stony having a great qualifying run. Let's see if he can back it up with a great finish here at Michigan. Folks, you're in for an exciting one because these guys will easily go 3, 4, and 5 wide and have the room to do it here. You'll see all sorts of different lines through the corners. Nobody's going to run the same line. It's going to be a great race to watch. So buckle in, sit tight. Pace car is taking that hard left-hand turn onto pit road. Stephen Black leads them into the starting zone. Green flag is in the air. And we're racing here. It looks like the 019 of Brandon White does not get rolling. I don't know if he was in 4th gear and didn't downshift or what, but he got a really, really bad start there. And they're already 3 wide into turn 1. Brian Nudie to meet the sandwich between White and Gill as they come through turns 1 and 2. Right in front, Kyle Mays and the 51 Zachary Cox having a great little battle. But up front right now, Stephen Black is leading with Brian Dees making his way around Stony Benfield early. And Colin Willems coming into the picture already as well. As we come across to lead lap number 1, it's going to be Stephen Black leading that lap. But Stephen Black already under some pressure from the 27 to Brian Dees. And further back, we've got a big gaggle of cars back here as they come off of turn number 2. You can see everybody kind of spreading out, trying to get single file, but Brian Nudie making a big aggressive move underneath the 51 of Zachary Cox. And the draft comes into play so big here. You'll see these guys get huge runs down the straightaways as Isaiah Gill is working on the back bumper of Stony Benfield. And Colin Willems falling back just a little bit. Oh, some contact between Benfield and Gill. They both go around. Benfield keeps it off the wall. We are under caution. That's going to bring up our first wreckage rewind of the night. We'll have to see exactly what happened between Gill and Benfield here. It looked like, I don't know if Benfield may have came down just a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't have my wreckage rewind up, but see me going through the field here. Let's take a look. We're going to look at this from the, let's look at this actually from the chopper if we can. I think the chopper is going to give you a little better look here, and it's already in progress. Yeah, it looks like off the corner here, Benfield, yeah, he might get a little loose and came down on Isaiah a little bit, and the two of them make some contact. Benfield gets into the right side door of Isaiah, and Isaiah able to keep it straight as Benfield goes for the long slide down through the backstretch infield. But it doesn't look like too much damage on either one of those cars. So they'll be able to continue on. See Isaiah Gill making his way back through the field here. Again, this is the Michael Falk Racing Designs 180 here at Michigan International Speedway. I left a link in the description below so you can check out his merch shop as well as any paint jobs that he might have. Isaiah hitting pit road. Also, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. Whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, let us know who you're rooting for tonight. I know the bot squad's usually in full effect. I haven't seen anybody rooting on anybody tonight. I'm sure Grandma Hagerman's out there watching her favorite race car driver, Stephen Black, along with Logan Hagerman, and listening to her favorite announcer. Yours truly, Josh Hall, here on Intensity Broadcasting. And make sure to check out the Logan and Cody Show on YouTube as well. So tonight's race is going to be 90 laps total. We will have our stage break at lap number 18. These guys will have 2 sets of tires in the pits and 1 fast repair tonight. And the winner of tonight's race will be receiving a free racing design from him. So pretty cool, throwing that up there for the winner of the race to get a free paint job. I know Stephen Black probably wouldn't have much use for that, as we know Black Designs is also a sponsor of the series. Stephen makes great looking paint jobs himself. It looks like lights on the pace car are off. We're going to re-rack them, restack them, get ready to refire them here. Stephen Black's going to choose the outside on the restart here. That's going to put Brian Dees to the inside. Kyle Mays and Colin Willems are going to be restarting the second row. Paul, I'm sorry, I'm not going to try to say that. Says 16 Mather going for the win. Nick currently in the 12th spot, trying to make his way back up. We'll have to see if Nick can move himself forward here. Looks like he's being a little conservative now, just kind of staying where he started. No real big movers through the field just yet. Well, Bailey Jones has moved 7 spots from the start up to 19th. We'll see if she can move her way a little further as we go along. Michael White up 5 spots from where he started. Colin Willems up 3. So, a couple movers, a couple shakers as the pace car is getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn onto pit road. Stephen Black's going to lead them back to the restart zone. As they approach the Geico restart zone. Green flag's back in the air. Stephen Black hits that loud pedal and gets out to a good jump on Brian Dees here as they go into turn number 1. Side by side, Kyle Mays and Colin Willems for the 4th spot. Not really giving each other much room here as they go into the corner. And Colin almost comes down into the door of Mays. Mays has to check up. That's going to give Colin the advantage coming off of turn number 2. Now he's going to set his sights on Brian Dees coming down the backstretch. Here comes Zachary Cox now all over the back bumper of Kyle Mays. He's going to get a run here down the backstretch. He's going to look to the inside as they come into turn number 3. And Brian Nudie also looking to the inside here. He's right behind Kyle Mays. He's going to tuck in behind Mays, though, it looks like. Brian Nudie's Colin's #1 fan. Up front, battle for the lead here as Brian Dees looking to the inside of Stephen Black. They're side by side coming off of turn number 2. Here comes Colin Willems and Zachary Cox into the picture as well. As they come down the backstretch, Colin all over the back bumper of Stephen Black. And Brian Dees gets shuffled out due to the draft. He's going to fall all the way back to 4th. He's side by side with Kyle Mays now. Here comes Zachary Cox, though, to 27's back bumper. Dees is going to get a little shove here. It's going to be like a little super speedway racing. That draft is going to be in full effect here as they come into turn number 1. Colin Willems just kind of riding right behind Stephen Black right now. Oh, here comes Brian Dees again, looking to the inside. Here comes Brian Nudie on the outside. They're side by side coming off of turn number 2. Brian Nudie with nowhere to go. Now he clears Dees. We'll have to see if Nudie makes a move to the inside trying to get Kyle Mays or if he's just going to ride behind right now. Looks like he's going to ride in line here. William Witt, though, making a couple moves. He's up into the 6th spot in that real tree machine. Behind him, we got 3 wide racing. A couple intensity cars side by side. You see Logan Hagerman, the meat and the sandwich between Zachary Cox and Daniel Michel. And here comes Joseph Wright into the picture as well. Joe's trying to make his way forward. Almost makes it 4 wide. Oh, we got one in the wall. The 19 in the 019 in the wall. Also, Junior, Brian Merle Jr. caught up in that as well. And that's going to bring up our Wreckage Rewind. And that looked like it started with the 019 of Brandon White going around right in front of the field. So our Wreckage Rewind features our very own Atliat Weiss avoiding the wreck at Langley a couple weeks back. And we see the 019 get a little run here. The 09 pushes up the track just a little bit. They make some contact, shoves the 019 straight up the track and into the wall. And when that happens, bounces off the wall, tries to keep it up against the wall, makes a little bit of contact. It looks a little bit of net code there with the 74 of Brian Merle Jr. who comes down across the track. And not sure who that was that got into Junior there. Let's rewind just a little bit here. Oh, that was a 16 of Nick Mather. And it looks like he may have made just a little bit of contact here. See if we can get a chopper view here. Looks like Mather, yeah, catches that door. A little bit of contact there. Comes up and catches TJ Floyd. So quite a few cars involved in this one. Bailey Jones able to sneak through. So tough break for those guys in the back. And that one just looked like a bit of a racing deal, but we'll see what goes on. Bunch of cars on pit road. Brian Merrill Jr. hits pit road. Eddie Morris on pit road. Michael Provolt, Todd Mays, Max McClure, Derek Chaput, Colton Kinsey on pit road. Stoney Benfield as well. This is a smart move because we're approaching the end of the stage here. Stage will be ending at lap number 18. So if these guys can take fuel, they're not going to take any tires, but if they take fuel now, they'll stay out at the stage break and be able to get some great track position when the race resumes. But still up front, we got this 98 of Stephen Black, Colin Willems right behind. Brian Newty moving up into the 4th spot. Kyle Mays in 5th, and William Walter Witt the 5th. Sitting back in 5th. Michael White, Brian Dees, Chris Wheeler up 12 spots from the start. Daniel Mitchell and Logan Hagerman round out your top 10. I want to make sure we get the Logan Hagerman update for Grandma Hagerman. I know she's watching tonight. Logan's going to have to get her a nice tablet so she doesn't have to watch the racing on her phone. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go ahead and check out the Logan and Cody show on YouTube. We had an interview with Grandma Hagerman. It was fantastic. Learned a lot about Logan and the family, and awesome segment there. As well as a couple other great segments. A couple guest callers in this week, and always a fun show. Also, don't forget to check out Michael Falk Racing Designs at the link below in the description. Stephen Black is going to take the outside again on this restart with Colin Willems to his inside. And Brian Newty and Kyle Mays rounding out the second row here. And last two restarts we saw Stephen Black get out to such a great jump. Who's going to win the stage here? Is it going to be Stephen Black? Is it going to be Colin Willems? Are we going to have a surprise winner? Someone a little further back. Maybe someone like Will Witt or Chris Wheeler coming through the field a little bit. We'll see. As the pace car gets ready to take that hard left-hand turn. On the pit road, we're re-racked, restacked, getting ready to refire here in Michigan. And the pace car is off. Stephen Black brings him back to that Geico restart zone. And the green flag's back in the air. And again, Stephen Black with a great jump on Colin Willems. Kyle Mays seeing that great jump. He's able to get outside of Colin Willems here going into turn number 1. Side by side for the second position. But Colin's going to prevail here on that bottom side. Here comes Brian Newty all over the back bumper of Kyle Mays. Kyle Mays coming back on the high side. Getting a great run on Colin Willems, and because of the draft here, that high line is going to propel forward as Kyle Mays is going to set his sights on Stephen Black. Colin getting freight train being stuck on the bottom that way. I know Cassie just came out and said, let's go Colin and Mather, but everybody's lined up on the high side like you see at a super speedway and just dragging that 17 car back. Here comes the 09 looking to the inside now of Will Witt. And Kyle Mays getting passed by Brian Newty on the high side. As we're working lap 15, we're coming to the end of the stage here. Oh, Kyle Mays gets a little loose there, trying to stay off of Brian Newty. Here comes Will Witt looking to the inside of Kyle Mays. Will Witt down to the inside. And he's going to clear Kyle Mays here. See if he throws a slide job here on Kyle. Nope, Kyle's going to come back on the high side. There's the slide job is thrown. Here comes Kyle. Back to the inside now. Mays got the position, but does he have the momentum as he's got nobody to really work with him here? Oh, he pushes up the track just a little bit. Has to get out of it. That's going to stack him up. That's going to allow Michael White to come around the high side. Here comes Chris Wheeler, making it 3 wide. Oh, Brian Dees in the wall. Hangs on to it. Daniel Mitchell has to check up. That's going to allow Colin Williams to get back underneath here and start to propel himself forward. As we're working lap 16, coming to lap 17. One more lap of the stage. We're 3 wide. Back here for some stage points. Colin Williams in the middle. He's going to slide up to the high side behind D. He's going to get a great shove here from Daniel McKell. Sorry. Brian Dees moving. Now Will Witt to the bottom side. Trying to take the lead away from Stephen Black. He's got some help now. As the 09 of Michael White trying to give him a push. And now Michael's going to jump back up to the top. Nudie to the second position. Nudie looks to the inside. He's going to try to take the stage win away from Stephen Black. And as they come off of turn number 4, Nudie has the position on the bottom side. Coming across the line. Stephen Black is going to win the stage. Oh, I take that back. Stage is not over yet. It's over at the end of this lap. So Nudie now takes the lead. We see Will Witt now. Oh, they're wrecking behind. Wrecking behind. Nudie gets turned. Nudie goes around on the backstretch. Caution is out. Wow. It's going to be a lot to take in here, as this is going to end the stage. And it looks like Michael White is going to be your stage winner, as Stephen Black is not really sure what happened to Stephen Black. Let's bring up the wreckage rewind here, because I want to... There's a lot to take in here, as there's actually a couple different wrecks here. So it looks like the first incident happened with Zachary Cox and Logan Hagerman towards the back of the field here. And as they come off the corner, yeah, Cox just comes up, doesn't realize that Hagerman's right there. Hagerman smacks the wall, turns the 51 around. That's going to stack up a lot of the field. Chris Wheeler involved. Kyle Mays gets around. Cheeseburger gets through it as well. Oh, the 95 of Provolt just nowhere to go. Gets into the side. Here comes Derek Chaput making some contact as well. It looks like Bailey Jones gets through, but just barely. And they're still wrecking behind as Colton Kinsey gets involved as well. The 25 of Todd Mays. It looks like Eddie Morse may have gotten a little piece of that, or did he get through it? Yeah, Eddie got a little tiny piece of that as well. While all that was happening, up at the front, Stephen Black looks to the inside of Brian Nudie. Then he comes right up into the side of Nudie. Turns Nudie right around. And Nudie takes that long slide down the backstretch. Able to hang on to it. Doesn't make any contact. But then Stephen Black here. Takes a hard left-hand turn into the inside wall. I don't know if, and then disconnects. I don't know if Stephen Black had some connection issues, or I don't know if he plays in VR and he had his VR headset go out or something, but I'm not really sure what happened there. If anybody knows what happened, please let me know in the comments here, because you know, I can't see the racing chat, so I'm not really sure what happened there. Real quick, in the comments we see Andy Halbeck says Nick Mather's the GOAT. Corley Mather says let's go Nick and Colin. Corley says let's go Nick and Colin again. Don't forget to drop your favorite drivers. Let us know who you're rooting for. Like I said earlier, I know Grandma Hagerman's watching, rooting on Logan. As the lights on the pace car are off, we're re-racked and restacked. And Cody Moore is going to come out your leader here. It looks like Michael White, Cody Moore have not pit. That's going to put Derek Chaput, Max McClure. They pit on that first caution. They're going to be the second row. Tyler Mays, Daniel Michel going to make up your third row. Colin Willems and Will Witt in the fourth row. And then Logan Hagerman and Kyle Mays rounding out row 5. So Cody Moore is going to lead them back to the... Michael White is going to lead them here to the restart zone. He's going to choose the high side. As Michael White brings them to the Geico restart zone. Green flag's back in the air. Great jump for the 09 of Michael White. And we see that outside lane and your leader really getting the jump off these restarts here. But Cody Moore trying to get something going here. Derek Chaput to the inside of Max McClure. And here comes Todd Mays looking to the inside as well. You got Colin Willems on fresh tires, carving his way through the field already. Oh, we got... Oh, Will Witt catches the wall, goes around, catches Todd Mays. They're both able to hang on to it. And looks like no yellow. As now Max McClure is trying to challenge Cody Moore for that second spot. Here comes Cody, though, to the back bumper of Michael White. Here comes Daniel Michel as well. Cody having some issues getting into the corner. He's going to fall back and lose a couple positions here. Loses a position to Daniel Michel. And, oh, Michel in the wall. Cody around. Caution is out. Oh, we still got him crashing. That's going to bring up our wreckage rewind. As it looks like Daniel Michel also back around as well. We'll have to see exactly what happened here. And I think the best way to look at this one will probably be from the blimp, because there's just so much going on here. A couple different incidents here. As we see Cody Moore come off the corner. He's on the outside of Max McClure. The 26 of Michel hits the wall. Cody Moore gets into the back end. Then Max McClure gets in the back end. Colin Willems with a little bit of contact as well. Oh, Colin Willems gets turned, but able to hang on to it. But the 26 gets the worst of it here. Now Nick Mather going up and underneath here. Another hard hit for Mather. Logan Hagerman getting all the way. Cheeseburger. Michael Lawrence gets turned. And let's see if we can see exactly what happened to Lawrence here, because Lawrence was away from this whole thing. Oh, he catches Michel because he has nowhere to go. That turns him dead left and into the inside wall. He's just a passenger at that point. I see everybody coming down pit road yet again. Looks like Joe Wright got a little bit of damage in that. 21 Colton Kinsey. Here comes Cody Moore involved as well. I think it'd be better to talk about the cars that were not involved. Max McClure did get some damage. He was involved in that, but he's going to take over the lead here. Derek Chapu. Car looks pretty clean. Isaiah Gill gets through that. TJ Floyd does for sure. Bailey Jones misses one. Bailey has the worst luck. She's able to miss that one. In the chat here, I see Jazzyman says go number 26. Rooting on Daniel Mitchell, who does not look too good right now. Unfortunately, his night looks like it is done. He's missing the front end and the rear end of that car. And usually when you see that, it's pretty much a no-go for going. You see Max McClure with a little bit of damage too, but I don't know if it's enough to actually hurt him. So this shakes up the field completely. A lot of action tonight here at Michigan International Speedway in the iOS Cup Series. Lights on the pace car off. Max McClure is going to choose the high side, as we've seen everybody do tonight so far. Derek Chapu to the inside. And TJ Floyd and Isaiah Gill. These guys up front here are some big movers. You got Derek Chapu up 26 positions. Max McClure up 25 positions. Or sorry, 28. TJ Floyd up 22. Bailey Jones up 21. Sylvain Seguin up 15. So your top 6 minus Isaiah Gill all up double-digit positions here. Isaiah is up 6 positions, so I'm not taking anything away from him. Well, I promised it was going to be a wild one, and so far it's living up to it. As we get ready to go back, green flag racing here at Michigan International Speedway in the MF Racing Designs 180 pace car, getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. And Max McClure is going to lead him back into the restart zone. Green flag is in the air. Max gets on the gas early. Tries to get a good jump here, and he does get a great jump off of Derek Chapu. And as they come down the front stretch, Chapu now under fire from the 49 of TJ Floyd. TJ's trying to work that high side, let that momentum on the high side carry him to the front. And now TJ trying to look to the inside of Max McClure. He's not going to get there. Max throws a block to the bottom. He gets a little contact, gets a little loose. TJ to the high side. Here comes Isaiah Gill. And Sylvain Seguin mixing it up up here as well. Bailey Jones up into the 5th spot. Seguin down to the bottom. Here comes Max McClure back on the bottom side. They're 3 wide for 4th. TJ Floyd's going to lead that lap. Isaiah Gill in 2nd. And Bailey Jones is going to slide into 3rd. Here comes Isaiah down to the bottom. Bailey Jones is going to follow him down there. She's going to try to get a good run here. Here comes Colin Williams to the high side. That's going to kill her run off as they're side by side for the lead with Isaiah Gill and TJ Floyd. Isaiah's going to fall back in line here. He's going to now look to the inside. 3 wide right behind these guys with Colin Williams and Will Witt. Bailey Jones, Will Witt, after having a spin, making his way back to the field. We're 4 wide behind with Eddie Morris up on the high side, making his way up into the 7th spot. Here comes Colin Williams and Isaiah Gill side by side, trying to take the lead away from TJ Floyd. Gill not able to get that run off the corner like that high side's able to do. These guys are beating and banging back here. You got Brian Nudie and the 5 of Bobby Mays. Eddie Morris in the mix as well. Sylvain Seguin back here mixing it up. I think I just saw Logan Hagerman trying to use the apron to get around here as We are 5 wide across the line here. And Max McClure on those old tires is just struggling right now. 4 wide behind. Up front now, Colin Willems. Man, we got to go to a wider view here because these guys are all over the place. They're still 3 wide towards the back here. Oh, what a round. He hangs on to it. What a save. I believe that was the 019. Oh, we got Bailey Jones turns Brian Nudie in the front of the pack. Yellow is back out. And Brian Nudie is having the worst luck tonight. Seems like everybody's finding his back bumper. Oh, I take that back. That was not Bailey Jones's fault at all. We're going to see here from the chopper view. Bailey Jones is the 88 on the bottom side. You see Zachary Cox there, the 5 of Bobby Mays comes down, hits the 88, sends them up into Brian Nudie. And Nudie slides down. You see Derek Chaput trying to get out of the way. He makes contact with Brian Nudie, trying to get down, and there was just nowhere he could go. In fact, we'll ride on board here with the 37 at real speed so you can see exactly what he saw. This is full speed, so you can see how little time he had to react, and he thought he was making the right move by going to the inside. Looks like the 5 just got a little loose there, and yeah, just nowhere to go. Tough break for Brian Nudie. But again, don't think Nudie had too much damage. He was able to get in and get it fixed, and he is trying to find him on my time and scoring here. Back off of pit road. Stephen Black back into the race now. Sitting in 9th. I just want to pull Stephen Black in to ask him what happened there. If he had some kind of glitch or something. Hey, Steven, you got Josh in the booth. You got me?
Got you, Josh.
Hey, man, we're all wondering what happened early in the race. Did you have a connection issue or something black out on you? We saw you disappear right after the contact with Nudie.
I think I had my brake bias set too low, and I was trying to slow up, and it just kind of cut on me, and I Alt F4 to keep it from coming back up on the track. So.
Gotcha. Well, hopefully you got that fixed up, and seeing you back in 9th place, so it looks like you're back in a good position to get yourself back up there. And we'll let you get back to the race now. Thank you for talking with me.
Thank you, Josh.
So there you go. Stephen Black having a little bit of a technical issue there, but able to get it worked out and did the right thing of Alt F4 and get himself off. That means he shut down the sim. That way he didn't come back across the track and ruin anybody's race, and didn't really hurt him as he's sitting back in 9th place and working his way back through the field. Well, we are re-racked, restacked, getting ready to refire with TJ Floyd taking the outside. Your leader with Colin Willems to his inside. Eddie Morris up into the 3rd spot and Will Witt in the 4th spot. as the pace car is getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. And TJ Floyd is going to lead us to the Geico restart zone. Green flag's in the air. And TJ Floyd hits that loud pedal, gets out to a great jump on Colin Willems. And Colin's got to deal with Will Witt, heavy on his outside, right there on the bumper, trying to take the air off the spoiler and pull him back. But here comes Bailey Jones making it 3 wide, right behind Eddie Morris and Zachary Cox here. Bailey's going to clear both of them, move herself up in the 4th place. Will Witt working the high side around Colin Willems, and the yellow flag is back out. It looks like the 52 of Cody Moore having some issues back here. Oh, Stoney Benfield around as well. That's going to bring up our wreckage rewind. See what happened here. It looks like just another caution of cautions breeding cautions. Oh, looks like Colton Kinsey was involved in this one as well. As we see Cody Moore in the middle between Colton Kinsey and the 25 of Todd Mays. And you got a little contact between Colton and Cody. And then Colton comes right up into the side. That's the 019. Then behind that, Max McClure getting out of shape and getting into the side of Stoney Benfield. So a couple parts of that wreck right there is Max has a lot of damage to the front of that car, and unless he can get that thing repaired up, might be the end of his night. Well, cautions breeding cautions, as I said, as we're working our 6th caution of the night. And we're not even to halfway yet. We're about 10 laps away from halfway. TJ Floyd still your leader. Will Witt up into that 2nd spot. Colin Willems, Bailey Jones, and Zachary Cox make up your top 5. Eddie Morris, Chris Wheeler, Stephen Black, Sylvan Segoin, and Nick Mather, your top 10. So Nick Mather, after having so much damage earlier in the race, fresh car, he's able to get that thing repaired and get back out there. Brian Merrill Jr., Brian Dees, Michael Lawrence, Michael White, Isaiah Gill, your top 15. Then Logan Hagerman, Colton Kinsey, Joseph Wright, Brian Nudie, and Kyle Mays make up the 20 spots. Stoney Benfield, Max McClure, Todd Mays, Bobby Mays, and Cody Moore are spots 21 through 25. Then Michael Provo, Derek Chaput, Daniel Michel, and Brandon White. And it looks like Michel actually has a fresh car. So Jazzy Min was saying earlier, she was rooting him on, and it looks like he's back in contention in the race in the back. And I see the emoji she put up, the monkey and the Among Us. That's a bit sus if you ask me. It looks like the lights on the pace car are off. TJ Floyd again is going to take that high side with Will Witt down on the bottom. Colin Willems in 3rd with Bailey Jones in 4th. Oh, Bailey's moving up to the high side here. Colin thought he was going to sneak onto the high side here, but there is no choose rule except for the leader. That's one thing I wish iRacing would bring into iRacing is the choose cone. Really shake things up a little bit, seeing who's going to stay up on the high side and give positions away to get a good run, or if anybody gambles and gains a bunch of positions. So we're getting ready to go back green flag racing here. Looks like almost every car is still on the lead lap, minus Brandon White, who's still in the pits after having heavy contact in that last yellow. As we come off of turn number 4, pace car takes that hard left-hand turn onto pit road. TJ Floyd leads him to the Geico restart zone. Green flags back in the air. And again, that outside lane just having such a great jump on the restarts. Will Witt falling in line behind. Colin Williams now looking to take away that third spot from Bailey Jones. As he goes into turn number 1, looks like he's going to clear her and set his sights on Will Witt. 98 of Steve Black coming back through the field now, and he gets a big block from Zach Cox. Zachary Cox now looking to the inside of Bailey Jones. He's going to take the momentum as they're going to be 3 wide now, fighting for the second position. Back to 2 wide as Zachary Cox had a great run. And now Will Witt all over the back bumper of TJ Floyd. TJ doing everything he can to keep Will Witt behind him. Here comes Colin Williams now as Will Witt looks to the inside. Colin Williams comes to that bumper here, and as they come down the backstretch, Will Witt's got Zach Cox giving him a little push here, but that's not going to help him very much as Colin Williams is going to move into that second spot. But here comes Eddie Morris on the high side, looking around the outside of Bailey Jones. He's going to move himself forward here. Here comes Stephen Black on the bottom side now, trying to get under Eddie Morris. We've got battles all over the track right now as here comes Will Witt looking back to the inside of TJ Floyd. TJ has to get out of the throttle a little bit. Will Witt able to stay in the throttle, gets right around, going to throw a slide job. Here comes TJ back to the bottom with Zach Cox trying to get down there as well. They were almost 3 wide for the lead. Colin Williams right here back in the mix. Here comes Cox down to the bottom, 3 wide for the lead. He's going to get a 2-for-1 special here. As he comes off the corner, he's going to pass both TJ Floyd and Will Witt to take over the lead here to lead lap number 41. Here comes Will Witt looking back to the high side, trying to side draft a little bit, take a little bit of air off the spoiler. See if you can get that car a little loose. Right behind him, we're 3 wide racing with Stephen Black in the middle. Almost makes contact with Eddie Morris. Eddie Morris up into the wall, able to hold on to it. He's probably not going to be too happy about that. Eddie's falling back fast now after making hard contact with the wall. Stephen Black now to the high side, trying to get around the 66 of Sylvan Seguin. How about Logan Hagerman in this mix as well, making his way through the field. Made his way up into the 7th spot. Here's Bailey Jones. Oh, throws a big block on Chris Wheeler. Chris Wheeler down to the bottom. There's action everywhere is on track as Colin Williams now under fire a little bit from TJ Floyd. Stephen Black trying to get around TJ. There's 2 wide behind as Logan Hagerman going to use the high side to get around Sylvan Seguin. And Logan Hagerman's going to set his sights on Stephen Black if he can catch him. Here comes TJ Floyd looking to the bottom underneath Colin Williams. Logan Hagerman sees the run. He's going to try to take it. He's going to make it 3 wide to pass both TJ Floyd and Colin Williams here. Coming off the corner, move Logan up into the 4th spot. While all this is going on, Zachary Cox is loving the battles that he's seeing in his mirror. He's able to stretch his lead out to a half-second lead right now as Will Witt under fire now from Logan Hagerman. Logan having a great little run up through the field. I know Grandmother Hagerman must be loving this. Now he jumps to the high side. Stephen Black looking to the low side of Colin Williams. And Stephen Black's going to try to take Will Witt as well. As they come off of turn number 4, that low lane just pinches and bogs him down. That high lane, Will Witt is going to get the run off the corner down the front stretch. And he's getting a little bit of a push here from Colin Williams, but Logan Hagerman pushing Stephen Black like this is Daytona as they come into turn number 1. Stephen Black around Colin Willems. Colin, though, back battling hard on the high side. And look who else is starting to join this mix, as Brian Nudie up into the 7th spot, working his way back through the field. You know, he's driving with a chip on his shoulder right now, as he's been spun twice now by no fault of his own. Down to the bottom, Will Witt. Now Will Witt's getting a little bit of a shove here from Nudie. Nudie trying to make it 3 wide for a second, thinks better of it, tucks right in behind Will Witt. Now he's going to slide up in front of TJ Floyd and try to use that high side to his advantage. Side by side, while they're all battling here, Zachary Cox is up to almost a second lead. Will Witt down to the bottom, taking 3 wide around Hagerman and TJ Floyd. He's going to clear Hagerman, but TJ fighting strong on the high side. Here comes Hagerman back through the middle, trying to get back to that sucker hole that he likes so much. Giving TJ the big push here. Stephen Black now under fire from Brian Nudie. Nudie's got the draft from the 17 of Colin Willems, and he's going to go into the 3rd position. Now, can these two work together to try to run down Zachary Cox, as Zach has stretched his lead out to almost a full second. TJ Floyd's going to slide in behind Logan Hagerman now, and a little further back, we've still got another gaggle of cars back here. It's Isaiah Gill's making his way through the field right now. He's up into the 14th position, trying to get back to the front as well. Oh, Brian Nudie with a battle here on Colin Willems, leaving Colin stuck on the bottom side. He's going to go right around. He's going to bring Stephen Black and Logan Hagerman with him. The 3 of them are going to leave Colin Willems out to dry. As we come down the backstretch, that draft comes into play so much. Can Stephen Black get a good run here on Brian Nudie? Or if he's going to feel content staying in line, is now, because they're all working together, that lead of Zach Cox has shrank down to a half a second. It was over 3/4 of a second. Now we're down to half a second, as Nudie leading this little charge here from second on back. Logan Hagerman now was looking to the high side of Stephen Black. Gets the good run off the corner down the backstretch. Thought he was going to take a look to the inside, but he's going to feel content riding right behind Max McClure, trying to get around the 82 of Joseph Wright, but Joe a little too strong here. Move Joe up into the 10th spot. He's up in the top 10 now. Trying to fight his way forward. Stephen Black and Logan Hagerman now side by side. This is for the 3rd spot. Hagerman's going to take it away on the high side. Speaking of taking things away, here comes Brian Nudie now. Brian Nudie looking to the high side of Zachary Cox, and I think Nudie's got a little better tires than Zach does. Zach's going to put himself all the way down to the bottom. He's going to slide right in behind Brian Nudie. Another one making his way through the field pretty well right now is the 26 of Daniel Mitchell. Daniel, after having a couple incidents, having to get a new car, he's battling right now side by side with Joe Wright. He's going to pass Joe here. He's going to be up in the 8th spot. Joe Wright fighting hard for that 9th spot, trying to take it away from Sylvan Seguin. As he looks to the inside of the 66, he's going to take that spot away. Brian Nudie now has taken the lead away from Zachary Cox, and here comes Logan Hagerman trying to take the 2nd place away from the 51, but the 51's going to, now that he's got that draft, he's on a little bit more even power now. Colin Willems right behind. Was looking to the inside of Stephen Black, but wasn't able to get that run complete, but here comes TJ Floyd now. TJ's thought about taking a look to the inside. Here he goes. He's going to go to the inside. He's going to follow Stephen Black. And Stephen Black now looking to the inside of Colin Willems. Logan Hagerman. And Logan Hagerman at the same time trying to get around Zachary Cox. Hagerman, power move to the bottom side. Almost gets alongside Brian Nudie, and he's going to slide job Cox here. Cox, though, going to cross him over now. Down to the inside on the apron. Side by side they go into turn number 1. I think that high side with Hagerman's going to have the momentum, but no, Zach Cox. Man, as a power shift back and forth with these two, that high side is going to prevail as you're going to be able to keep that car so much more wound up. Here comes Colin Willems looking to the inside of the 51. And Colin now down to the bottom. Is he going to try to pull the slide job here to get around the 26? No, that 26 is going to have the momentum on the high side. Colin's going to have to slide back in. Oh, it can't slide back in because here comes Will Witt to take away that position. Will Witt on the high side, taking away 4th place. And that's going to move Colin Willems back to 5th. Zachary Cox, now he has to settle in behind Logan Hagerman. And Hagerman's going to set his sights on Brian Nudie. Couple drivers hitting pit lane. We've got Chris Wheeler entering pit lane, get some service done. A little bit behind this, we've got a battle shaping up. Joseph Wright was 3 wide with Stephen Black and Brian Dees. Stephen Black has fallen back after battling for the lead a few laps ago. Now he's sitting back. I take that back. Stephen Black is a lap down now. So I think Stephen might have came in and pit here. So Stephen Black a lap down at this point, sitting back in 26th. Here comes Will Witt. All over the back bumper of the 51 is Zachary Cox. As TJ Floyd now hits pit road, so I believe Stephen Black being on pit road was a scheduled stop, as Will Witt's looking to the inside of Zachary Cox, trying to take away that 4th position. Not quite going to have the momentum to take it away, and Eddie Morris continues to drop back, as we saw Eddie have hard contact with the wall earlier. Unfortunately for him, the damage is too much. As you can see, that right side really pushed it. It looks like Eddie's going to be coming to pit road this time to get tires, fuel, and get that thing fixed up. Brian Nudie around the lap car, the 21 of Colton Kinsey. Colton almost slides up in front of Hagerman, and that really slowed down the progress that 7 was making on Brian Nudie, and almost led Zachary Cox back to his back bumper. Colton Kinsey is a lap down, sitting back in 23rd, and here comes both Zachary Cox and Will Witt on the pit road, and hopefully Zachary got down to speed. There's a bunch of cars on pit road. We've got Isaiah Gill hitting pit road, Brian Merle Jr., Bailey Jones, Cheeseburger Lawrence all hitting pit road this time. Zachary Cox, as we mentioned, Will Witt. So these are scheduled pit stops. We'll have to see when our leaders come in. If Brian Nudie stays out a little bit longer, or if he makes the move to the inside this time. Nope, he's going to stay out for at least another lap. Same thing with Logan Hagerman. Doesn't look like we have any other takers this lap. Joseph Wright, Brian Dees, and Max McClure are having a great battle back here. This is currently for the 5th position. As we know, these guys are going to have to come in and make a pit stop pretty soon. So green flag stops are going to be starting up in just a few moments for our leaders. As we see TJ Floyd Going around Nudie here to get his lap back. Chris Wheeler in the 22. He's the first car 1 lap down. He's going to get his lap back, so you can see the difference that new tires are making compared to the old tires that Brian Nudie and Logan Hagerman are on. It's almost like a different race here. You're going to see Will Witt come through the field, and just the speed difference between these cars is incredible, as Will is barely going to have to lift to get around this track. Brian Nudie stays out another lap. Logan Hagerman staying out as well. We've got Nick Mather and Colin Willems out on pit road, getting their service done. Brian Dees now sitting back in 7th. He's been falling back a little bit as Joseph Wright has moved up into the 4th position with Max McClure in 5th. And here comes Eddie Morris. Eddie Morris is the first car 1 lap down now. Ooh, Eddie has a little connection issue. He's the first car 1 lap down now. He's trying to make his way back through the field as Stephen Black has now gotten around Brian Nudie. I take that back. It's Colin Williams. Colin Williams is the first car 1 lap down. Then Isaiah Gill, Stephen Black, and Eddie Morris. Brian Dees hitting pit road to get his service done. That's just going to leave a handful of cars out on track who have not pit. And Daniel Michel up into the 3rd spot. He's got the 2 of Isaiah Gill all over his back bumper, but that is not for position. Isaiah is the first car 1 lap down. How about Stoney Benfield? Stoney having such a great race. He's qualified on the outside pole. Sitting up in the 6th position right now. Working around Max McClure to take away the 5th spot. What a great run for Stoney. Up front, Brian Nudie's still staying out. We'll have to see when he's planning on making the move to pit road. Because as we've seen, those new tires are so much faster. Unless he thinks that maybe he can catch a caution here and trap all these cars a lap down. Here comes Joseph Wright. Joseph Wright on the pit road, making his scheduled stop. Cody Moore right behind him, coming on the pit road. Here comes Colin Willems getting his lap back. Getting around Brian Nudie here. And at this point, Brian Nudie is just losing so much time to these guys with new tires. It almost, I don't know if he's just trying to stretch it as far as it can go. So he makes it 1 more stop. Looks like everybody else is on a 2-stop schedule right now. But Brian Nudie, Logan Hagerman, Daniel Michel, Stoney Penfield, see if they can make it on just 1 more, if they can stretch it. Kyle Mays on the pit road to get his service done. See Eddie Morris going around Logan Hagerman. Again, not for position. Eddie's just trying to get back onto the lead lap. And Brian Nudie slowing down, coming to pit road this time. Here comes our leader on the pit road. Logan Hagerman also on the pit road. So that's going to give the lead to Daniel Michel, who's going to lead a lap in this race. It almost sounded like he might be shutting it off, trying to save some fuel here as we ride along with Daniel down the backstretch. And we'll listen to see if he on the clutch or... Well, not quite on the clutch, but... Well, here he comes down onto pit road. Well, sounds like the car's stuttering. He might be out of fuel. Yeah, that car is out of fuel. That's going to give the lead to Max McClure. Cody Moore now on the high side trying to get his lap back from the leader. Daniel Mitchell, Stoney Bedfield, Todd Mays all on pit road. Max McClure is yet to pit. We saw Max staying out earlier, or pitting earlier. He's pit 4 times already. Trying to get some fuel in the car and not taking tires, but trying to stretch this thing as far as it will go. As Max is now slowing down to get onto pit lane himself. And that's going to cycle the lead to Chris Wheeler in the 22. We see TJ Floyd and Will Witt right behind Chris Wheeler. Doing a little bit of bump drafting, trying to keep up front here. Will Witt, TJ Floyd, Michael White, and Isaiah Gill are all teammates of Operators Racing. So TJ and Will doing everything they can to work together. As here comes Will Witt going around his teammate. And trying to get around the 22 of Chris Wheeler at the same time. But Will's not going to be able to get there, and here comes TJ with the big push. And, whoa, a little bump draft gone wrong as Will almost goes around. And while they're doing that, they've actually carved out just over a second lead on Colin Willems and Brian Nudie. And here comes Willems and Nudie, who are not drafting together, but they're close enough right now where they're getting a little bit of a sniff of these draft of the cars in front of them and able to pull themselves forward. Will Witt has taken the lead from Chris Wheeler. Chris is looking to cross him over, though, here as they come down the backstretch. No, he's going to stay in line and give Will the big shove down the backstretch. And Colin Willems and Brian Nudie are there. And now Nudie's taking them 3 wide. So Nudie's staying out much longer than these guys, has the freshest tires out of this group here. And you're seeing how that worked out in his favor, staying out as long as he did. As now Nudie's to the inside of Chris Wheeler, and he's going to set his sights on Will Witt. As we look off the back bumper of Will Witt, Will thought about throwing a little bit of a block. Wasn't able to get it work as Brian Nudie easily takes the lead away. And Brian Nudie is now starting to pull out to a little bit of a lead. He's already a half a second ahead of Will Witt. Here comes Colin Willems, also on fresh tires, making his way to the back bumper of Will Witt. He's going to look to the... Nope, he's going to tuck right in. I thought he was going to look to the inside. He's going to ride right there behind. Didn't really have a run. As Brian Nudie comes across the line this time, we're going to have just 20 laps to go here at Michigan. And Nudie out to almost a 1.5 second lead over Colin, who's now getting around Will. And Chris Wheeler, that's the 37 of Derek Chaput. Chaput is a lap down right now, sitting back in 26th. But he's on the freshest tires, and you can see the difference the tires are going to make here as he's just driving through the field like they're going backwards. So now, Brian Nudie with a 2-second lead back to Colin Willems. Well, I thought I was going to get that to work, but it wasn't going to work for me. Let's try this one. There we go. And you can see that lead is still growing as Nudi's able to continue to gap almost at over 2.5 seconds now to the 17 of Colin Willems. And as long as the yellow flag does not come out, the way that Nudi's running the race right now, he might just run away with it. But his name is Brian Nudi, not Stephen Black. So I don't see a late race caution coming out in his favor. Daniel Michel. Jasmine on Twitch must be excited because he just moved himself up into the third place, and he's setting his sights on Colin Willems. As that 26 looks to the outside of Colin. And they're side by side, and that 26 is going to prevail on the high side. So maybe that 26 is going to be able to run down Brian Nudi, as he's got the freshest tires. You can see how much more speed he's able to carry. As right now, Michel is just a little bit faster than Brian Nudi here. Almost 0.2 a lap faster. Last time by, Nudi ran a 40.54 and Michel ran a 40.28. So yeah, almost 0.3 of a second faster. Does he have enough time to cut into this lead? Right now, Nudi's got a 3.5 second lead. Now it looks like Nudi's lead is starting to grow again. If you're watching the live delta between Michel and Nudi. That time by, Nudi was a little bit slower coming off of turn number 2. As they come across the line here. And that time by, Nudi was, actually these guys just ran identical times. Nudi just ran a 78 and Michel ran a 78. So right now, Brian Nudi out to a huge lead. And he's continuing to stretch that lead. Now you can see the gap on the tower. Didn't realize I didn't have the gap up there. My mistake. But you can see the gap on the tower is now starting to grow and grow and grow. TJ Floyd and Chris Wheeler having a little bit of a battle on track. This is for 4th place. TJ is all over the back bumper of Wheeler. Trying to do everything he can to get around. And these two are starting to gain on Colin Willems a little bit for that 3rd position. Joseph Wright moving up into the 6th spot. Having a great run tonight. And Will Witt struggling now. Falling back to 8th. As Brian Nudi's lead is continuing to grow. We'll look at the battle here between Chris Wheeler, Colin Willems, and TJ Floyd heating up. As these 3 cars here trying to battle for that final podium position. TJ Floyd looks to the inside. Colin Willems had to pit. So Colin's going to give up that position. It's going to move Joseph right into the 5th spot. And Joe, on a little bit fresher tires than TJ and Chris, I think he's going to be able to get up there. A little further back, Will Witt now. Cody Moore getting around Will Witt. Cody Moore is on a mission now late in the run here. He's looking to the inside of Kyle Mays, and he's going to get there. Almost gets into the side of Kyle. He had to check up there to keep from getting in the side of Kyle. Couple more cars on pit lane. Zachary Cox, Sylvan Svagoin, Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence, Chris Wheeler in the 22 hits pit lane. And now it makes me wonder who's got enough to make it. We know Brian Nudie has enough to make it. We know Daniel Michel has enough to make it. Here comes Joseph right now to the back bumper of TJ to try to take away that 3rd spot. Joe to the inside. And as they come off of turn number 4, Joseph Wright, give him that podium position. But TJ Floyd fighting back hard on the high side. Can Joe make that bottom lane work? And there he goes, diving it down to the bottom to get around TJ. TJ looks like he's just struggling now as he's falling back. And he might fall into the clutches of the 27 of Brian Dees. Brian Dees making his way up the 5th and coming fast. Up front, as we cross the line for just 8 laps to go, Brian Nudie stretched out to over a 4-second lead. Daniel Michel has over a 4-second lead on Joseph Wright. And Joseph Wright and TJ Floyd are still battling at it, with Brian Dees right behind. Does everybody have enough fuel to make it to the end? That's the question. I think TJ Floyd might have to come in and pit one more time. Brian Dees all over TJ's back bumper. TJ might be pedaling a little bit, trying to save as much fuel as he can so that he can make it to the end without having to pit. So we watch these 3 battle it out. A little further back, Todd Mays now looking to the inside of Max McClure and not able to make it work. These 2 are battling hard. This is for the 9th and 10th on track. Max is currently in 9th. Todd in 10th. Isaiah Gill on the pit road. And Max able to pull away from Todd just a little bit. Oh, Max almost up into the wall. You see the 74 of Merle Jr. He is not on the lead lap. Eddie Morris hits pit road, so he's not going to be able to make it. So you see Colin Williams now trying to get his lap back the hard way. He's going to get it. Same thing we just saw Chris Wheeler get his lap back. Just 5 laps to go. Can Brian Nudie stay out in front? Can luck be on his side and not have a yellow? TJ Floyd, as I mentioned, on the pit road. Imagine we're going to see Will Witt hit pit road pretty soon, along with Bailey Jones hitting pit road pretty soon. See TJ Floyd on pit road, as I mentioned. Colton Kinsey hits pit road. So William Witt, last pit on lap number 56. Same with Bailey Jones pitting on lap 56. I believe anybody who pit before lap 60 cannot make it to the end. We see Will Witt now slow on the bottom of the track. I think he might be saving fuel. Let's ride along with him. Let's see if we can hear if he's shutting it off or out. Yeah, he's riding around real slow right now, trying to save as much fuel as he can. You can see the speed. Yeah, he's shutting that car right off. Trying to save as much fuel as he can. Bailey Jones hits pit road. Logan Hagerman onto pit road. So Brian Nudie, I think Brian Nudie's the only one who's able to stay out there and pretty much full throttle. As he stayed out, him and Daniel Michel stayed out longer than anybody else on track. If we take a look at their last pit stop, with 3 laps to go here. Now, Nudie is trying to save as much fuel as he can right now. So he comes off of turn number 2 down the backstretch. Just 2 laps to go. Does he have enough fuel in the tank to make it to the end? He's got almost a 5-second lead on Daniel Michel. So he can pretty much coast to the finish line. So he comes off of turn number 4. A white flag is in the air one more time around. Just 2 more miles for Brian Nudie. And it doesn't matter for him. There's an accident. Doesn't matter. Yellow flag will not come out. He's just going to try to keep it off the wall and going straight. He comes down the backstretch for the final time into turn number 3. Lap traffic looks like they're not going to be a factor as Brian Nudie comes off of turn number 4 and down the front stretch. Your winner here at Michigan, the 40 of Brian Nudie, gets the win with the Michael Falk Designs paint job in the Michael Falk Designs 180. Daniel Michel wiggling it. I think he's out of fuel. He's going to come across the line in second. Joseph Wright coming home in third. But your winner tonight, Brian Nudie. Let's see if he's got enough fuel to burn it down here. Michael Fox says, hell yeah, number 40. Thank you, Michael, for sponsoring the race tonight, and I'm sure you're going to paint Mr. Nudie a beautiful OnlyFans car. As we see Brian Nudie burning it down on the front stretch. Let's take a look at the results. Perfect donuts there for Mr. Nudie, as you see in the background. Brian Nudie, your winner with Daniel Michel coming home in second. Joseph Wright making his way back up into third, last year's winner. Brian Dees and Cody Moore. Cody Moore coming back, coming in fifth. Kyle Mays, Max McClure, Stoney Benfield having a great recovery, coming home in ninth. And Bobby Mays rounding out your top 10. Then you got Chris Wheeler, Colin Willems, TJ Floyd, Stephen Black, and Zachary Cox, your top 15. With Eddie Morris, Derek Chaput, Brian Merle Jr., William Walter Witt the fifth, and Michael White coming home in 20th. Isaiah Gill, Nick Mather, Bailey Jones, Logan Hagerman, Sylvan Seguin, Colton Kinsey, Michael Lawrence, Michael Provolt, and Brandon White round out the rest of the field. And let's pull in our third place finisher here, Joe Wright. Just a moment. I want to get this up on the screen. Joe, you got Josh in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, buddy, what's up?
Man, great run tonight. Coming home in third. Had a little bit of issues at the beginning of the track. Got caught up in a little early incident. Got the car fixed up and had a great run back to the end. How'd the race go from your side? How'd the strategy play out as the race went on?
Man, early in the race, Logan, I don't know if he just didn't see the guy in front of him, but checked up super hard or hit the guy in front of him, and it was just an accordion effect. Wrinkled my front that sent me kind of toward the back there. And then as the race went on, I just filled up some fuel, stretched that long green flag run I knew we would get eventually as far as I could to make it so that I could go full bore and not worry about it. Took 4 tires on that last stop, and that was my first set I took all day. So we were able to make some moves. If we would have had a yellow flag, I'd have had something for him up at the front. I don't know what happened, but I felt like Isaiah ran me down on the apron or something on my way toward the front there. Otherwise, I would have probably had something with her, Daniel. I don't know how far Brian was out in front, like 5 seconds or something, right?
Yeah, he was over 5 seconds ahead of Michelle, and Michelle was 5 seconds ahead of you. So, it was a dominating performance by those two up at the front. And if you watch the replay back, you'll see that Logan was kind of just caught up in somebody else's mess there, right in front of you.
Yeah, it was just a checkup, but I just wasn't ready. It was a severe checkup.
But no, man, great job coming home on the podium. I know you won the race last year, and you're hoping to win it again this year. But any shout outs you got to give? Any thanks you want to give tonight?
Oh, obviously, we give a shout out to Intensity Broadcasting, Grandma Hagerman for tuning in, Brian Nudie, great win, my friend. Shout out to Dave Wright with the broken arm. Hope he's at home watching. I think that's about it. Thanks, Josh, again for doing this every week. You're the man.
I appreciate that, Joe, and congrats to you on the 3rd place finish. And let's see if we can get it done tomorrow night in the Truck Series.
For sure.
All right, that was your 2nd place finisher, Joseph Wright. Bringing our 2nd place finisher, Daniel. You got Josh in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Man, what a great run tonight. You just were flying there at the end. I thought you were going to be able to catch Nudie, but he started pulling back away from you at the end. Were you saving fuel there towards the end, or what happened there where you had to drop off the pace a little bit?
No, at that point, once I saw that he had a pretty big distance on me and there was no way for me to, gain that type of speed without a draft, a big pack, I just decided, well, I think I'll just save my stuff, make sure that no one behind me can catch up and just maintain the gap.
Now, did strategy change throughout the race, or did you kind of come in set that you were going to make it a 2-stop race?
My strategy was a 2-stop race, but it got a little bit messed up when I had the tow. So I went 2 laps down after that caution where I was involved in. So came into the pits, got my pass repaired, didn't take tires or fuel then, just left. Came in afterwards, took fuel and tires, was able to make it last and ended up 2nd.
Awesome job, man. Well, you had Jazzy Man on Twitch rooting you on all race long. Any shout outs you got to give? Anyone you want to say thanks to?
Just her. She was rooting for me the whole time. I was talking to her. So
Awesome.
it's pretty great.
Yeah, awesome job, man. Well, congrats on the 2nd place finish, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again soon.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, let's bring in our winner, the man, Brian Nudie. It's Josh in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you, buddy.
Man, congratulations on the win. Kind of got you looked like you were driving with a bit of a chip on your shoulder after you not got spun once, but got spun twice. Making your way back up and dominating, winning by over 5 seconds. First off, was that what it was? You were just driving with a chip on your shoulder? And B, how did your strategy change as the race went on?
Well, the strategy didn't change too much. I was planning on pitting on that lap 18 anyway when me and Steven got together. No hard feelings there. We were just both racing hard and just made some contact. And, I got turned there. And then I was planning on pitting at that stage anyway, so I pitted. Just took fuel only, and then since I was in the back, I pitted under the next caution again, just kind of topped off, and then I kind of drove my way back up the front. And then when I got caught up in that second wreck, I was like, okay, I'm just going to use my fast repair now and just get out of the way. And if I get wrecked again, at least I'll get this race over with. And then I was able to drive back to the front. I could just make that the high side passing work. It seemed like better than most of the people out there tonight.
Yeah, for sure. As the race was winding down, I thought Michelle was going to be able to catch you down or hunt you down there towards the end, but you just turned into overdrive. And I thought for a minute you might have been saving fuel there towards the end. How close were you to not making it?
I was, I think 4 laps to the good. I was good. I was just saving tires because I knew if there was the event of a caution or something like that, there's, winning by 5 seconds doesn't really matter. If if a caution were to come out, then I'd rather have at least a little bit of tire left, to at least try to defend some of the guys off with the fresh tires coming through.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, great job coming home, getting the victory here. I know Michael Falk was happy to see you win there. I know he sponsored the race tonight. And are you going to get the OnlyFans car painted up from him?
I guess I'll have to talk to him and see if we can get that in the works.
Awesome job. Either that or a Cody and Logan show.
Ooh, a Cody and Logan one. You know what? I might do that.
Maybe a Grandma Hagerman paint job.
Ooh, Grandma Hagerman. See, oh yeah. Also got to give a shout out to Grandma Hagerman. I know it didn't update on the thing. It still says Colin's #1 fan, but Grandma Hagerman, I know I'm number 2 in your heart next to Logan, and you just said that because you're upset with me. But Stephen Black, we know he's not your number 2. I'm the number 2.
Well, you're definitely a number 2 in my book. But an awesome job tonight. Anybody else you'd like to thank? Any sponsors you want to shout out or anything you want to say?
Oh yeah, as always, got to give a shout out to my beautiful wife for letting me do this. Got to give a shout out to MF Racing Designs. He does all my paints. So now I'm gonna get a new fresh whip from him. That's pretty awesome. Got to give a shout out to everybody here in the iOS series for showing up every week. It was a rough goes at the first part of the race, but I kind of yelled at the radio, and no more cautions after that. So I'm sure it wasn't the reason, but I was just getting frustrated because all the cautions. And got to give a shout out to you guys. You guys do an awesome job. And as always, got to thank Gil's Dump Truck Service and Pizzeria, the fastest dump trucks in the Northwest.
Awesome, man. Well, congratulations again. And must feel good to get that win under the belt now. Get you locked into the playoffs. And we'll see you again tomorrow night as in the trucks.
Yep. We'll see you tomorrow. Oh, a quick sponsor plug. Don't forget to go ahead and like my OnlyFans account, 2pedals1clutch.com. Use code word Michigan winner.
There you go. Congrats. I love it. Well, we'll talk to you again soon.
All right. Have a good one.
Well, there you have it. Your winner tonight, Brian Nudie in the MF Racing Designs 180. Don't forget to check out MF Racing Designs. You can find the link down below in the description. Also, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that bell on YouTube. Let us know so you know when we're doing races. We do races 7 nights a week live here on Intensity Broadcasting. We got another doubleheader for you tomorrow night as we have the Mayhem Racing Series coming on before the iOS Truck Series. So go ahead and check that out. Then Double Dirt on Thursday. Original Rebels is back on Friday night with the Xfinity Series. The playoffs are starting this week. And then Saturday, you've got the iOS Cup Series, the Original Rebels Cup Series, which just started off their season before 4th of July. And then you've got double trucks on Sunday. You've got the Outlaw Rebels and then the Original Rebels. And we got a nice little surprise for you guys if you tune in and watch the beginning of the Rebels series. So I got to plug that to them. They got a pretty cool little Grand Marshal that they have for those races. So join us every night here on Intensity Broadcasting. Like, follow, subscribe. Don't forget to like us on Twitter as well. Intensity Broad 1. Atlee's always putting up something up there, some kind of poll or comment up there. So check that out. And as Atlee would say, thank you for joining us tonight, and over